I'm Bill Smith, and I have the privilege of working in our Juvenile Justice Ministry. I get to meet lots of the young people in the Juvenile Home who maybe you hear about in our local news, sadly, through our chapel services, Bible studies there. In fact, 2 young men that I have ministered to in this last year have lost their life to gun violence. 2 young men who sat in our chapel services. Whenever I hear of a shooting in Kalamazoo, I always think, do I know the shooter or do I know the victim? Whenever I hear that they have taken to the young person to the juvenile home, I know that I'm going to meet them. And I know that they're going to be in our chapel services, in our Bible studies, and we're going to have an opportunity to share with them that there is forgiveness, that God loves them, there's hope, and that their lives can be changed. I was sitting doing Bible study with some young men just a couple weeks ago, and I was telling them, you know, that the enemy was after them out there in those streets. And one of the young men said to me, he said, Bible Bill, he said, this place right here, this juvenile home, this is Satan's place. And I was so glad to be able to tell him, no, this is not Satan's place, this is God's place, because he's here. And we're meeting right now talking about his love and forgiveness and how he can set you free and put you on a new path. Those streets, that's Satan's place out there with all that violence. And I told him, I said, you know, God put you in here. It's like a roadblock, and now the road that you were on, there's a fork in the road. And you can either go back out and get back on that same path, but where is it going to lead? To heartache, even death. But God has the other path that leads to life and forgiveness and a good future because he loves you so much. We're constantly warning these young people to look at where they've been, and then we show them the better way of Jesus. A lot of people are talking about how can we, in this gun violence that's happening among our youth, and we know a lot of that violence stems from anger and bitterness and hurt in these young people's lives. They need a heart change, and we as believers know who that heart change is. That's Jesus, and we have the better way to show them. We bring them hope, and that's what Youth for Christ is all about, is just bringing hope to these lost and struggling young people. So will you join with us? We have this year-end match challenge where people can give to support the work that we're doing, bringing hope and life change. And our prayer is that we will hear less and less in the coming year of gun violence in our city, because more and more young people are turning to Christ and getting plugged in to God's family, where they'll be safe and cared.